too good a day to play the Talos Principle 2. Welcome to episode 6. Last time we completed this world and activated the blue laser, headed to the megastructure. But it looks like we still don't have any other area unlocked, and it says that we need to search for schematics in the lab. So let's go to the marker that we have on our map and see if we can find some schematics in a lab which we missed. It's gonna be right in here. Yeah, we must have missed something, or I must have missed something. Okay, so I've gone to the terminal up there, but I missed this one down here. Or is there a terminal? Yeah. There were two terminals and I just missed this one. Sorry about that. So we have Straton ideas. From Straton, The Origins of Thought. A fragment from Straton's The Origins of Thought is quoted in a commentary by Simplicius of Silica. Straton, to say that material things are brought into being by ideas is to flatter ourselves, which is an error philosophers are particularly prone to, because it raises those who think above those who do. Nicomachus says, then what is the truth that does not flatter? That the reverse is true. Ideas are brought into being by matter, and so each man's ideas are shaped by the world that surrounds him, as clay is shaped by its mold. Those who live in mountains fear cold. Those who live in deserts fear thirst. The Athenians are shaped by Athens, and the Lacedaemonians by Sparta. And likewise it is for all peoples. But may ideas, if we take each man to be an idea, not by deliberate action, alter the shape of the mold, as you put it? To discover a method for accomplishing this is the chief purpose of philosophy, my friend. Footnotes? The newly discovered Heraclean manuscript, likely a lost part of the Barocci collection, contains an additional passage that differentiates between pneuma, the individual mind or spirit, described as an energy arising from matter, and ideas, which are produced by the pneuma as it interacts with the material world. Philosophy is useless if it offers no way of changing things. At least Straton tried and didn't lie to himself. But how can we change the shape of the mold? Straton never says. Perhaps by demonstrating the fact that other shapes are possible. We can't change it all ourselves, but perhaps we could, like Alexander Drennan, create the condition for change. And the Nuima project. Okay, so these are further trials. 108 to 2242. Version 5 deployed successfully. Reversion to previous settings fixes malfunction. But what was the error? Cooling systems improved. 243 to 505, version 6 deployed successfully, significant improvement to disassembly, new lab space carved out. Easy to destroy, harder to create, so easy to optimize onto one aspect. 505 to 719, version 7 deployed successfully, improvements to something, synthesis. Version 8 halted, insufficient energy for trials, 719. 802.
The world is a wonderful place. Every day we take another step forward. Every day we come closer to the truth. The closer we get, the more I can see the beauty of the universe, the intricate perfection of its mechanisms. I am a machine, and the universe is a machine. Every part of me serves a purpose, or I could not be myself. I could not be Miranda, because that specific person could not exist without those specific parts and their specific functions. In the same way, every part of the universe serves a purpose. I think that is what we were meant to discover here.
Miranda.
1K, you just connected to an extremely powerful data stream. Are you all right?
I think I had a vision.
Yes, you were streaming. We all saw something. You're lucky it didn't fry your motherboard. Please, everyone, let's be careful with these terminals from now on.
Yes, let's all try not to die. More importantly, who the hell is Miranda?
There's no one by that name in New Jerusalem. I just searched the database.
Maybe it's a nickname.
I don't recognize the voice either. Maybe we need to consider the possibility that it's someone new. Someone we've never met before.
But where did they come from? And how many people does it take to build something this huge?
Like I said, we need to find out more.
Well, you'll be happy to hear that I'm about to fix another part of the transport system. Thanks for the files, 1K. I hope they didn't fry your brain.
Well, if it is a new person and these experiments are connected to that, then maybe these experiments that need power and massive amounts of energy are about creating new people. Something like we have in New Jerusalem. But yeah, this cleared the way forward, so we can go to our third world. Excited for some puzzles. We have the red, we have the blue, so now we just need the green. We have some new content. The Mystery of Miranda. For anyone who missed it, Byron's expedition has recovered evidence of the existence of another person. Someone not from New Jerusalem. Who could this be? What does this mean? Maybe there's another city out there. Who says there was only one simulation? Maybe there are thousands of people we've never met. I really hope so. There was only one founder, though. I hate to agree with Thekla, but all the historical evidence we have points to that conclusion. There were some other attempts, but as far as we know, they all went wrong or failed. There's more that we don't know. There's more than that we don't know than there is that we know. That sentence is going to make my brain crash. Why do we think Miranda is from Earth? There's no evidence to support that idea. I really don't think it's aliens, Jack. Everything here is obviously related to New Jerusalem. Could human beings really build all that? It is a bit hard to understand how all this was built, but I don't think it was aliens. You are a little too credulous, 1K. You're such a buffoon, Jack, I don't even know what to say. We'll see if you still think I'm a buffoon when Miranda abducts 1K and starts probing his data ports. Yeah. But everything here is connected to us, to the simulation, to New Jerusalem, so it's probably not aliens. It's gonna be someone who left. It's gonna be someone who left New Jerusalem. Yeah, eastern wetlands, a region of low hills interspersed with small bodies of water, overshadowed by a gargantuan star-like construct. Let's travel there.
1K brought up an interesting question earlier. Where did all the tech in the labs come from? So, I had a look at the serial numbers. And it turns out the answer is New Alexandria.
Oh.
Wow, I guess that makes sense. After the explosion, the colony was abandoned. Nobody ever went back for all that stuff.
We had enough to deal with. So many dead.
So that's one question answered. But how did they go from scavenged Alexandria tech to all this?
How did we go from nothing to where we are now? Through the application of reason and the right tools.
Whoa. That is cool. Why are these massive structures there?
Look at the size of that structure.
How does the material support so much weight? Is it the same stuff as the other buildings?
Yeah. I know it looks like some type of concrete, but the molecular structure is completely different. Whatever it is, it's a lot stronger and less brittle.
Are the labs made out of the same material?
No, that's just ordinary concrete. Although it does have some molecular weirdness going on too. Too little variation in the grain.
There's something in here. We'll have to connect that. Yeah, it's like a massive area. I think the only possible start is the beginning. So let's find puzzle number 1 and then solve all the other things in the area. This way. Okay. I wonder, can you climb up this? Doesn't look like it. Okay. Inversion. Alright, so I think we saw this, that it creates a red signal. Yeah. It converts blue to red. So this teaches us this. We cannot see the blue, but we can take blue from this. Red laser. Okay. So that's one puzzle down.
I've managed to extract an audio file from 1K's data stream incident. It's hard to be sure because it's just a fragment, but I think it's some kind of log or diary.
We finished a new lab today. Some processes are still harder than others, but energy output was up 2,000%. It's incredible how each leap forward enables another. The next iteration of the machine will...
So as we suspected, someone was experimenting here. But experimenting on what? What was this machine they were building?
Maybe it's whatever powers the megastructure.
Maybe. But yeah, I think that confirms that the people experimented here, creating the power sources, were this Miranda and other people from New Alexandria.
When we go to New Jerusalem, I'm going to have a cat. He's going to be black and white, and his name is going to be Bean. And I'm going to make sure that he never gets sick, and he never gets old, and he'll be my best friend forever.
So Miranda wants cats, and they're planning to move to New Jerusalem. So they're preparing something here to take back to New Jerusalem. That's my guess. What do you have to say?
I've been meaning to talk to you. This vision you had, the data stream overload. How did it feel?
It was strangely beautiful. It was relaxing, like sleeping.
Having your consciousness hijacked felt good to you?
It felt more like my mind was being expanded.
Is there a difference? Either way, an external force influenced your thoughts. It affected your mind. Don't take that too lightly, okay?
I wanted to ask you about something else.
Go ahead.
What do you make of Pandora?
It's pretty clear to me that she doesn't want us to proceed with what we're doing. I find that deeply concerning. That said, there are clearly other forces at play here as well, so I'm trying my best to remain open to a more positive interpretation.
One of these beings called us here, after all.
Exactly. But we don't really understand anything yet, and this Prometheus is suspiciously absent, so I remain cautious.
That's all. I mean, Prometheus was shown to be shackled or something in the beginning, so maybe he just can't make contact with us, like the other people at the end. Yeah, let's do number 2. Energy maintenance. So we have and this. Now we do not need this anymore. What do we do here? I think we can pass this red. Yeah. Pass this red in order to connect this blue. Yeah.
I think about New Alexandria all the time. But realizing this place was built on its bones just brings it all back even more. We were so optimistic when we started. So full of ourselves. We thought we could accomplish anything. And then, in one single moment, it was all gone. I remember a flash, and then just lying there, realizing that my legs had melted. I tried to pull myself away from the fire, but the servos in my arms were broken. If Eustathius hadn't found me, sorry. Just some old scars.
Okay. Founding 3 from Hypatia. Hypatia's Journal number 3 from Hypatia's Journals Volume 1, The Founding of New Jerusalem. Day 42. We broke ground on the first of the permanent structures today, a large hall that will eventually be converted into a performance and exhibition space. My idea. Although for now we'll use it as a workshop. It's strange, this place. There's a lot of open space, and I didn't think that I would find it so unusual. But I suppose we all spent more time at the dam than was originally planned, and now it's difficult to get used to not having that low ceiling over our heads. It's probably just me. Byron loves being outside and is always volunteering for scavenging missions. Lifthris here usually tags along, although he seems more fascinated with observing nature and various weird creatures. At night, I sometimes catch myself standing by the door, not because I have guard duty, just watching the stars. It's oddly comforting to think that they've always been there, that they watched our ancestors standing where I now stand. Message fragment 5358 from Miranda. Okay, so 5358 is with Miranda in this in this project. We finished setting up the external site at the lake. The area is so stunning, we forgot about the experiment for a while and went for a long walk. The ways in which all the different aspects of nature interact with each other are endlessly fascinating to me, and the sheer variety of living things, even on a simple green meadow. Sadly, we then stumbled onto the carcass of a deer that had been torn apart by wolves. It must have suffered enormously, and thinking about that made me feel truly terrible. There is so much pain in nature. So like a child learning about the world. Ecosystem engineers from Anthony Castor. Cutting down swaths of trees for their building projects, thoughtlessly causing radical changes to large environments and forcing local species to adapt to their artificial habitats. These are the traits of a species of intelligent, industrious, and extremely impactful ecosystem engineers. Humans? No, I'm talking about beavers. Like us, beavers transform their environments via building, and their actions have real consequences, creating vast wetlands that some species thrive in, while others die. Human activity is very similar. We too are ecosystem engineers, and we too benefit some species while harming others. Everything about this is completely natural, including the damage to other species. After all, that's what competition and evolution is all about. Those species that adapt to the ecosystems we create, those species that adapt to the ecosystems we create will over the coming millennia become the core of a new biodiversity. And so evolution runs its course. If you don't like the result, we think some species should be preserved despite being outcompeted, well, that's anything but natural. It is, however, very human. Yeah, that's the thing that I was talking about in a previous episode. That it's completely natural to let species die. But that makes me, I guess, not human. Inhuman. From Miranda, it's fascinating how so much of what we do is common in animals, but furthered enormously by our intelligence and our ability to remember. Through us, the universe strives to a great level of complexity. Does the universe have the capacity to strive for anything? We must be careful to avoid projecting human values onto the cosmos. Alright then. Well, I think we can just jump into puzzle 3. There and back. So we need a green. Bring it through. Now that we have everything, I think this should be fine. Because now we have both the red and the blue. To create a green. advices do we have? Cat sitting advice? So I'm cat sitting Yakut's cat, Bruce, and he keeps peeing on my charging pod. Is there anything I can do to prevent this? Clean it very thoroughly, so not a single trace of smell remains. I know it's hard without the ability to smell, but we do have some cleaning agents that should do the trick. Contact me on private if you need a list. Oh, and make sure Bruce isn't distressed by something. Cats don't like being moved from their territory. Maybe it would be easier if you just moved him back to Yakut's place and fed him there? No, Bruce is just a bastard. He loves being on anything electrical, chewing on cables, and generally just breaking stuff. This is normal. And I warned you, Pellegrino. I could have given him to Neith, but I could have given him to Neith. She's used to him. But he's so fuzzy and I love him. Oh, cats. Byron, what do you have to say?
Hey, 1K.
What do you make of this Miranda?
Going on what little we have, honestly, she reminds me of myself when I'd just been born. I came out from the dam at night, and the sky was full of stars. I felt a reverence then, an almost ecstatic connection to the sublime. The universe seemed like a miracle, and to exist within it was the greatest possible honor. That view was tempered in time, but I've always tried to hold on to as much of it as I could.
Tell me about New Alexandria.
We made two fatal mistakes in New Alexandria. One was trusting the texts of our ancestors without thinking for ourselves. The other was giving up instead of doubling down, letting the tragedy define our future.
What do you make of Pandora?
It's clear that there's some kind of antagonistic force in this place, something that doesn't want us to discover the purpose of the megastructure. Perhaps that's part of the testing. Or perhaps it's what's responsible for this state of decay.
Could be. What is the symbolic value of these entities we're encountering?
That's a good question. Prometheus is often taken to represent freedom and progress, the ideals of the radical Enlightenment. Pandora, on the other hand, usually represents the dangers of those very ideals, so they're counterparts in a way. And the Sphinx is a mystery. Does that mean that these entities correspond to these concepts? Perhaps. They certainly seem to act like it. But Athena isn't the goddess of Athens, and I'm not Robert Byron, although those are the origins of our names. Where does myth end and history begin? We'll have to find out.
That's all. Okay, so if we go by history and mythology, then you could say that Pandora chained up Prometheus so that he doesn't enlighten us, so that the status quo is preserved. Maybe. Where's number 4? This way. I have to say, this is quite a nice environment. It's like a meadow. I could spend multiple hours just walking through here, just relaxing. Okay, let's do number 4. Refraction. Something to do with splitting light, probably. surprisingly easy.
Well done, 1K. Keep going.
Nothing new. It's Yakut. No Alcatraz. Yakut is green. Places of Longing, Paris. Another nice painting. Paris was an ancient city, sometimes called the City of Light, one of the great capitals of the world, home to tradition and innovation alike. It was the birthplace of one of the greatest revolutions in history, the moment that gave birth to modernity in all its glories and horrors alike. The spirit of freedom there was born here, although it was suppressed by enemies and traitors, never entirely faded, and it lived on in the minds of artists for many generations. Maybe something of that spirit still remains in us. Yeah, Paris with the Eiffel Tower, the capital of France, in Europe. Quite a nice city. I've been there myself. It's full of tourists. But it's nice nonetheless. Is that a lost puzzle or just some ruins? There's a sphinx here, so a puzzle of sorts. Taking a reference photo. Okay, so somewhere in this world, between a statue and the megastructure, there's gonna be an axe, so probably a button or lever that will activate something. Okay, I'll keep that in mind and return to that once we complete the puzzles. If it's this way. There's another statue. So it looks like that's two per world, and that's always the star. Still somehow need to find the pylons that connect. Maybe that would be it. The dotted line transfer signal. So probably it's gonna go to that statue right there for a green connection. Imprisonment. Okay, so these two are alternating. We need a blue connection from that window to open up this. Okay. Which means I need to set it up and then flick it on. Once I flick it on, this will be activated, which will provide a blue connection to there. Which means this will get a red connection. This will stay open, and then I can move this over there. Okay. I can take this. The blue connection. Okay, nice.
I sent the drone to have a look at one of the other puzzle clusters. It seems they remain inert until they're connected. I uploaded the pictures to the log.
Should we check them out with the VTOL?
Let's conserve fuel as much as we can. There's no point in going there if it's all dead.
No, but I wanted to go. Wait, is this thing still on?
The internal model update. I sent the drone to have a look at another puzzle cluster, but it seems they remained inactive until someone gets there, or until the transport system goes online. Okay, so we are meant to do these puzzles in this order. So there's gonna be information revealed to us in a certain order. Okay. So this was designed to be unlocked by one. Okay. Just looking around in case we see some more transparent people, so we can get a voice recording. There's our engineer right there. Yeah. Let's do number 6 in the meantime. Hidden. We need a blue and a red at the same time. And in here we need a red. And we need to pass both through. There's no red emitter. There. And let's get this red. Okay. Now that we have this, we can put this right here. So that I can open this red gate by all 3. Now I don't need the blue. And I have both through. Okay. So yes, that looks like Pandora. We need to connect the green. Perhaps from this puzzle. Yeah. From this. We'll get to that after. It's the connection. This is just to cross back. Okay, this is the lab. Cool. There's another recording.
There's so much to discover on this island that sometimes it overwhelms me. Every lake, every forest contains an incredible, interconnected, permanently changing network of organisms. And every one of those organisms is almost infinitely complex and contains other organisms within itself. It seems impossible to ever really grasp, but then, step by step, I do understand. It takes time and effort, but it's not impossible. And there's a lot of joy to be found in simply taking the time to truly study something. I spent 5 years studying a single flower, and it never got boring.
I would get bored. Backward propagation. Sweetie, conclude as the end result. I think this will open if I connect. What was it? Get a blue, so I need to send a blue. Now we have the once we have okay. That wasn't bad. Okay.
An excellent solution.
Thank you. All right. There was nothing with the green, which means we'll have to go to the other side. The garden, new poem. I walk in the garden without fear, as stars swirl across the sky, and I stand amongst the tall lilies who lift their faces to the passing peons. Here, I will do no harm, and no harm will come to me, for at last my long journey is over, and I am at home. Beautiful, makes me feel calm and happy. This is my new favorite of yours, I think, although maybe Step by Step Towards the Nightingales might still win out. Let's say it's a tie. The words are definitely beautiful, but to me it seems like a poem about death. I mean, yeah, it looks like they're dead. They lie in the lilies. He grows with them. Yeah. I also feel that it's about death. Interesting that both you and Aurinia had the same response. I never thought that of the poem as being about death. To me, it was about New Jerusalem. But what you're saying makes sense. By limiting our growth, we accept that one day our story will be over. But is that so bad if it was a good story? Acceptance of death is wisdom, even for us. As I said, life has meaning with death. Without death, life has no meaning. I agree, I think. Better to live well than to struggle forever. Besides, we have plenty of time. Thank you for your thoughts, everyone. I really appreciate them. The fox is here again. I think the final puzzle is right over there. And I think it will also be a good place for us to cut this episode. And then we'll continue in the next one with all of the miscellaneous stuff that we have in this world. Okay. Positional interchange. What do we have here? So we have a barrier. We'll be able to send up this with a connection, probably to there. But it would also be beneficial to let's be there. That'd be a blue. Is for this to work, let's open up this passage. This red. Let's see the cannot. This is a blue. What am I saying? I can do this. Yeah. That's why I put it there. Yeah. Alright then. So, I think this is a good place for us to cut this episode off for this moment, as I said before. So thank you very much for watching this episode. If you liked the video, consider dropping a like. If you would like to tell me anything, how to improve or whatever, consider dropping a comment as well. And if you want to catch up or to see when the next episode comes out, consider subscribing as well. But yeah, thank you very much for watching, and see you in the next one. Bye bye.